I just had to give you notes. Yeah, man. You good though?
Yeah.
Boy,
I don't know why. I'm feeling a little
boy.
tired, but I don't know why.
Need some vitamins.
Maybe it's change of weather.
Could be. Might just be getting old. Shit.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. So how you been, man? What's up?
Not much, man. Just
Let
kind
people
of.
load in.
Yeah.
Comment stuff with you.
I don't know. I've been sitting here in the fish room, and I guess I'm kind of at a crossroads now, trying to figure
Yeah.
out what exactly I'm going to do with this fucking thing.
Okay.
Because most of, like half of it is set up more like display tanks. That's originally what I wanted to start doing.
Okay.
It's just keeping fish. But lately, I've gotten the bug that I want to breed stuff. But the way
Right.
my tanks are currently set up, they're not the most conducive to breeding.
Uh-huh.
So I'm at that point. What do? Do I switch it over and start turning it into a breeding facility? Do I have
Right.
time? I'm just kind of, it's nothing major or anything like that. But
No,
it's
that's synergy happening because that's like literally what we're talking about today on the show. And my damn alarm's going off. That's my you're a cocksucker alarm. It's military trick. So like if that alarm goes off and you're not past doing what you're supposed to have intended to be doing when it goes off, you're a cocksucker. So now I gotta go hunt my alarm down. I'll be right back. But no, hold that thought of not knowing where to go. Let's let the people dive in, man. We're gonna have a great conversation today, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Hey, thanks, Jeff, for being here. Tommy, thank you, sir. Yeah, I saw you, Tommy, over there with Jess. Dude, that's where I'm at. I got all my fish tanks moved. Now I'm like, what to do? There was so many new things I want to try, and I'm knowing, native route, but sure, and it's not even so much the native route, and as far as it's just trying to. I guess you get to, and it happens to everybody. Everybody that's got a fish room set up at one point or another, even if you just have aquariums. Everybody starts off with just trying to create a display aquarium and have a healthy tank. But now I've gotten, for a while now. I mean, I've been doing live bears, and it's usually that's what I hear. It's the way you want to start is with live bears, just because it's relatively easy, given that you have the right conditions for it. It's relatively easy, and it's pretty rewarding to see, the results. And they're cool. It's not like I don't like them anymore. I still enjoy them very much. And there's always a challenge if you're trying to create your own line or straighten a line. That stuff keeps me busy. But I'm looking at the bigger tanks, and I'm going, how many of those do I really need? Because those are mostly display tanks. And I'm going, do I start switching out some of the bigger tanks and start focusing on trying to breed stuff?
Right.
But then you get to that point where, okay, now you've bred it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the fish that you've bred? And wouldn't be that difficult to get rid of the fish, because for me, I guess I would be an ideal situation because I wouldn't saturate a market per se, because I could drive up to Phoenix, offload some of the fish there, and then drive up to San Diego, offload some fish there. And now I discovered a new market down in Palm Springs where I could probably offload some of the stuff there. But the problem with a lot of those fish stores is what do you sell them? I mean, what do they need? And that's, when you're breeding stuff that you want to breed, not necessarily what stores would want to sell. So you got to find the right stores that'll be compatible with what you're doing. So it's just a thought. It's just a thought, but it's not something I'm moving forward on yet.
Well, there's solutions for all that, and a lot of them we've talked about on the show.
Hey, Doc.
I'm
glad to see that. I'm glad to see that you're doing a little bit better. For those of you that are not aware, Dr. Anthony recently had back surgery.
Yeah, it's good to see you doing better. I didn't see him pop in there.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, look at these clubs, look at these organizations, right? So the
Yeah.
Wisconsin show's going on for AKA right now, and that's going to be some of the places where some of these niche species that you want to breed, or maybe other enthusiasts won't, you know.
Yeah.
So you can contribute by giving some donations to the organization and participate in some of the sales they have, so you can make you a little money. But
Yeah.
getting back to how we came into the show, that's what we're talking about today, is what to do and tank space. So it's cool that you just went right on in with the topic of not knowing what to do. And that's where I'm at now,
Yeah. Because
is
it's at the
display
point now
versus
where my wife was telling me, you know what, you need to rearrange it. I mean, I know I have this set up, but it's kind of awkward for the space in the garage. She goes, why don't you move a side of this rack against the other walls, and now you got the whole wall surface to be able to do it.
yeah.
But if I decide to do that, then that's where the planning comes into it, where you're going, all right, what exactly do I want to do? What's the end game of all of this?
Okay.
And you know, I guess it's just natural that the longer you stay in this hobby, the more you want to evolve. It's no longer just wanting to keep fish and nice tanks. I think it gets into that point where, okay, I've done that successfully for quite a few years now.
Mhm.
Now I wanted something that'll challenge me to see if I can get these things to breed. And it all kind of really started uh, because, like I said, the live birds is a no brainer. I mean, they're kind of like an autopilot. But when I had the angelfish lady eggs, and I hadn't really pulled any angelfish
See, I was finna
eggs
just
out
say you
before.
gonna throw cichlids in the same category with live bears, so they add water,
Well,
for
yes
most
and
of them.
no.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
yes and no. And here's what
That's
I'm
what I
getting at.
said.
And here's what I'm getting at. So when I decided, okay, I'm gonna pull the eggs out, and I'm gonna try to breed. I'm gonna try to to start breeding these, right? Purposely doing it, not accidentally, not kind of letting it do its own thing. And I was able to pull the eggs. I was able to hatch them, but I wasn't successful in getting them to grow out. I only have one left out of the entire clutch that made it through. I only have one left that's in there. So now you go, okay, this is not as easy as people make it sound, like where they'll do it all. So there's a little bit more to it. So
Did you
you
learn
start,
anything?
yeah, I've learned a lot. There's certain things you can do, and there's reasons why. This is what the thing, I guess, make it long story short, what I took away from this is I need to set up a fry rack. That's point blank. That's what it is. You got to have that constant water volume that's moving through these fries to be able to get them to grow out. If you're trying to breed them, that's the whole thing. If you just want one or two to make it through, then leave them in the aquarium and let it naturally happen. But I'm actually trying to see if I can get a clutch of eggs to hatch and maximize the amount of fish that actually make it through. So that's kind of the phase that I'm in with. Started doing to do that. I go, okay, well, if I set up a fry rack, then I need to have fry to be able to grow out. So you see where this is kind of going. It's kind of like, all right, well, I got other fish in here that are egg scatters or egg layers that I could probably try to see if I can breed. But then you got to change the dynamics of the aquariums that you have, because you got to set them up to be able to raise fry instead of having community tanks where they're display tanks. Because if you try to put the fry in there, they'll become lunch for some of the other fish. So that's kind of where that crossroad that I need to make a decision and find out exactly what I want to do. And because I still enjoy the side of the hobby where I can look at aquariums and not have to worry about doing anything other than enjoy it.
I'm gonna
But
tell you
then
what's
there's
happening to you.
What's that?
There's synergy. So we've been doing this whole year, and it's been great. Thank you guys for following us, along this journey, pushing natives, the natural aspects of it, focusing more on these habitats where these fish come from. So when I say synergy, I'm gonna use myself for an example. since the inception of my hobby, my journey in the hobby, when I was a kid, it's always been natives, throwing a bunch of sticks in there, not necessarily a biotope, but creating a habitat to pull as much behavior out of those fish as possible because I want to observe them. And like we in the ditch. We didn't have we wasn't going to the stores like that. So I'm observing, I'm reading the Roger Tory Peterson field guides, I'm reading these different books, and then we get into like the 90s, the mid to late 90s, and I become aware of Takashi Amano. Now, up to this time, I'm TFH, the Dutch, the British, the Europeans. I have no idea that Japan is rocking like how they are. And I come across via, I think, TFH, they did like a little hit piece on it. And that just, and then I went to the library. I was like, man, I gotta find this dude. And the books, his photography, the bonsai, how he merged it all, right? So I'm like, damn, you can do it. I knew I wasn't crazy. So this conundrum you have, I want to look at it. I want to observe the beauty, but at the same time, do I want to go balls deep, do all this research and have everything down to the T? So like from us doing what we're doing, you're evolving live action in the hobby.
Well,
like the way it's pushing. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, the problem is I haven't
Almost.
really defined what it is, bro. Because here's the other thing: there's a couple of people that I've watched what they've done with their fish room that just fascinated with. One of them's out of Australia. His name's Adrian's Fish Room.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about he's breeding fish, but he's also brought nature indoors.
They got a jungle in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I try to make my house like that.
So I
Yeah,
really
that's how you
love
do
that. I'm just fascinated with what he's done, and even though he's breeding, I mean, I don't know, maybe like everything else, your taste kind of matures.
Yeah.
Most people would probably look at that and say, "Oh, those tanks look like they're a little bit dirty. They're overgrown. They're not necessarily a Takashi Amano aquarium."
Well,
But to
absolutely,
me,
your perspective changes.
I think that's like the best type of environment because it looks totally natural, not only above but below.
Right.
And you get to see all that mold build up, you get to see all those algae, and it starts creating this entire ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at that and going, yeah, except I got to fight some certain elements that kind of put a damper on that unless I want to spend the money. And that's the other thing is trying to be responsible when it comes to what you're doing, not just because I want to do it. I could go all out and do that and put myself in a situation where at the time I'd be able to afford to do it, but then later on you're suffering the repercussions because you put yourself in so much debt just for something that you wanted to accomplish. And what I'm getting at, I could easily go drop about $1,500 for an AC unit system for the garage so that I don't have to deal with that. But is that physically responsible for me to do? And that's where I'm kind of, my wife says, if that's what you feel you want to do, then do it. But I'm looking at our overall expenses and kind of going, no, not right now. There's other priorities that I need to take care of before I do that. Because if I let my impulse make that decision, I can get it done. But later on down the road, what are the consequences of that going to be?
Well, see, I'm gonna go there, Jorge. I'm gonna go there, bro. It's talking about stating your purpose and looking macro, not micro, right? Not letting this temporary impulse determine a forever decision, right?
Yeah.
So the word that comes to mind for me is sustainability. And I'm going to try to stay away from ideology as much as I can. I'm not virtue signaling. But when I say sustainability, right? You're keeping tanks. You want to implement nature. You want to rock with the environment. So you're gonna turn around and go spend money, like you said.
Yeah.
But let's look at the other impacts, like the sustainability of it, the environment. Are we a part of the problem? And it's cool because this whole topic is what are we doing? Where are we going? So, like me, right? I'm in the same boat of floor space. What do I have in my tanks? And this series, we've been doing this journey, it's affecting me too, to where all my tanks now, y'all, I'm looking at this one. Everything that I have, for the most part, I'm trying to make it to where it's endemic or earth native, as I call it, endangered, a native. I'm making it matter. So when they breed, because they will, when we have the puppies, which we will, now it's impactful. Now it's not a question of where or how do I find somewhere for these puppies to go. It is the process of vetting out all the people lined up that want them.
Okay.
And that's me personally.
Yeah.
And the uniqueness of it is I'm me, but via synergy, we are being molded the same kind of way to where it's like we're putting more thought and purpose behind what we're doing instead of just buying shit to have it and post it on the internet. And this is really what I have been preaching. This is what I wanted the whole time, is getting the hobby back into the hobby, to where it's like, as a human being, how are you? As a grown man, how are you? To where, see, you, that's maturity. You have a family, you have a wife, you have your finances. You're going to think about it. You're not just going to do it and then, oh God, now you don't put yourself in the weeds financially because you made an impulsive decision, because the vicarious approval, that external validation, was so tempted you bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it does. That's why I said absolutely your perspective change with maturity, to where you're gonna look at a tank. You've been around long enough to know what dirty is and what's not. That's not a
Well,
jab at people who like what they like. You
yeah,
feel me? It's just being objective.
and it's a little bit more than just that. I think what it is that I don't know, for some reason lately, I've been seeing a trend that bothers
What's that?
me, and that's
I hope it don't go dark, man. I'm in
yeah,
a good
well,
mood. It's rare.
it's a little
I'm
dark.
all
But here's the
effervescent and
thing.
shit.
Here's the thing. This, at the end of the day, is a hobby, right? And it should be your hobby,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So my issue that I've taken up with this, I understand times are difficult. I understand that sometimes we have things that happen that become, yeah, I'm going there.
I already know.
I'm going there.
Bye, y'all.
So to me, it seems irresponsible when somebody tries to pass on the hobby's expense on other people. And they get there and see, again, life has priorities. And as a fiscal responsible adult, you should be able to separate that from a hobby to your necessities.
Hmm.
And that's why I think about all this stuff, because
Hmm.
the last thing I ever want to do is to come on here and say, and I don't understand how easy that becomes for people to do. And I don't know if it's because of my upbringing, because we were always under the microscope, that because culturally, a lot of the aid in this country goes to Hispanics, blacks, any minorities. That's what
Right.
that's what gets projected in the media.
Right.
So the last thing I remember growing up, the very last thing you ever wanted to do was do this. Reach out.
Yeah, not me. Yeah, no. We don't do that.
No,
Yeah,
you
no.
always
Yeah.
found a workaround to be able to solve your problems.
Yep.
So I see this happening, and I go, "What the hell?" You know, it's like it freaks me the hell out that it becomes so easy for society to be able to go, "Hey, you know what? I need this," and I understand that the community wants to help. understand all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, the only responsible person for the situation that you're in is yourself.
Right.
And so those are the things. I don't know why I've been thinking about all this lately, and I'm nowhere near that situation because I promise you, the day that becomes an issue, this is out. It's just that simple. The minute
it ain't gotta be that way. That's why
well,
Warrior
no.
Planet tanks exist. Like you can be
No.
broke as hell in tank if you
Yes,
know.
but what I'm getting at is when this all of a sudden becomes a burden financially,
Right.
then I know that do what you need to do. Whether
Time
it
to
be
see it right. Yeah. See,
a downside.
I'm
All right,
a
that
healthy.
doesn't mean get out of there, but downsides. Be reasonable. Be understanding. Be
Right.
fiscally responsible for yourself and your
Right.
family. So that's the side of it that is just kind of like, and I see it so much happening lately where people are getting on camera and making it so easy to say, hey, help me out. Help me out because
Hold on now.
I am not.
That ain't help, boy. That's giving. Help is literally that. It's help. Asking for something because you feel entitled to it. That's begging, boy. Come on now.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. We're too damn euphemistic in society. Don't kill me because I'm the messenger. Because if anything, y'all can give me the Captain Obvious award, but please don't try to eviscerate me because I'm articulating some fucked up shit I see. Y'all the ones doing the shit, not me. So, with that being said, I'm gonna help you. Like it is a hobby.
Yeah.
And included in this hobby are people. And I was talking to white boy Tommy. I was talking to a couple of people. I be using analogies when I talk to people. So one of the analogies, I forgot who, but somebody heard this analogy from me. I said like this: the Grand Wizard got dogs. I got dogs, but we not gonna hang out no goddamn time soon and go to the dog park and share a 6-pack of microbrews. People are people, and you have to use your discernment accordingly. And unfortunately, what happened is with the internet is, it's like, hey, you got fish, I got fish, let's hang out. But it's the internet, it's social media. You can't know because I'm talking about like how it's so easy for people to come up and be like, hey, help me out. You a different caliber of human being, period.
It's
not
even,
it's responsibility.
I think your example was a little bit off on that aspect. But here, what I'm getting at is, why would you put yourself in a situation where it's not sustainable? That's the only thing that I'm getting at. So
right.
This is kind of going back to where you ask what's going on in the crossroads. It's that I'm at that point now where I go, okay, I could do all of these things, and yeah, we could probably pull it off. I mean, I can probably pull it off, but is it
it's not ethical,
responsible?
it's not sound. It's not sound.
So as much as sometimes my impulses want to say, yeah, do it. Let's go. It's like right now I was looking at the garage. I was looking at the garage, and yeah, no, we tend to forget.
That's it.
And I was looking at the garage, and my wife goes, "We need to clean this out because it's literally to the point now where I've got a little walkway in there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, what the hell happened? I mean, how did I become a hoarder so bad?" But it's not just my stuff; it's also my wife's Christmas stuff and all the other things that are in here. So I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Be realistic. I mean, this is manageable, but less could be manageable too. And I've seen people do great things for less, but you just got to be focused.
Right.
So it's not that it's just that self-reflecting, I guess, what I'm doing, where I'm trying to figure out exactly what direction do I really want to go with.
Right.
To me, and I've always said it, and my situation is very different because I don't plan to make a living out of social media. I've been very blessed that I have a very good job.
Right.
And that affords me the luxury because this is a luxury. This is not a necessity. This is a luxury.
Yeah.
To be able to have this hobby. So it's kind of like, all right, I let the MTS, if you want to call it that, kind of let me grow to a point. It's still sustainable. I'm not having any trouble with this.
Right.
But now it's kind of like I need to refocus, because this is kind of like when let's go, and I ran with it and it blew up. But now I got to go, all right, what exactly am I trying to do now? Do I still just want to keep fish for my enjoyment? Yes. Am I curious that I want to try to breed some other species? Yeah. So now I need to start refocusing. I need to start looking at this and go, okay, if I want to do some breeding of fish, then I need to select which fish I want to breed and start getting rid of some of the stuff that I'm just keeping for ornate reasons.
Right.
And, or that I've already figured out, and it's kind of like, all right, this is easy. I'm not easy, but been there, done that kind of thing.
Well, you ready to move on? Well, let me
I
ask you
guess.
something. Have you've heard of the well, you're an educator. You used to teach. You know the rule of fives, right? The average of fives. So per the sum of averages, you as an individual are a reflection of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So with that, and how we're doing Fish Clancy Moss, and when I do haphazardly pop up and get somebody to come live with me, we're trying to cultivate a space on the internet where hobbyists, like-minded hobbyists, we can take advantage of the fact that it ain't 1996. We don't have to write letters or snail mail or dial up. We can reach out and touch people globally. And being able to filter through those people, it becomes tedious. People like me, like you, we're gonna be like, we're not gonna do it. I tend to stick to what I know. If somebody say, hey, check this dude out, I do.
Yeah.
So we need to, all of us, everybody watching, kind of foster this, like an honor system, an integrity amongst ourselves, to where we have that group. You know what I'm saying? To where you have some people to bounce stuff off of, because everything you're talking about, I have solutions for. And like all your crossroad conundrums, this is the kind of stuff that belonging to a club, an organization, you got a database of people, a wealth of knowledge, you got mentorship, relationships, not to mention unlimited access to fish you would never think, the stuff that you want. So there's a live bears organization. There's a cichlid one, I mean the killifish one. There's different ones. And so this is beautiful that live action, we get to go through this, share it with y'all. But it's that, think about what you consume on the internet and how that affects what you're doing, because you said purpose, right? When you was like, am I keeping fish to breed, to do this? And I want to add one. Am I getting these tanks because I want to grow my social media? Am I doing this because maybe I want to grab a sponsorship and XYZ? And all that's fine. But think about the ethics of it, the feasibility for you, like what you can handle, so you don't overextend yourself and get into these precarious situations like Jorge described.
Well, and here I just want to finish answering the question that or the comment that Dr. Anthony put up there, and that's the other thing. I'm a realist. I know I've seen too many people go on that journey where they want to set up a breeding room and they're going to sell and they're going to make money off of this. That's not a reality.
No, it's not.
It's not a reality.
No, it's
but
not.
But what I'm getting at is more of the challenge of the hobby, where you get to breed. Maybe this is where the conservation comes in of the hobby, where you start bringing in some of these rare species they might not be the coolest, or they're not the attention grabbers, but there's you have an opportunity to be able to maybe sustain a species of
population,
fish,
yeah.
a population of fish that could potentially be no longer with us. So, or they only exist within the hobby, and that side of me is, I mean, that part of the hobby is what just fascinates me.
I have those fish, bro.
Yeah,
and to be a little kid, read them magazines, read them books, and dream, be like, man, it'd be so amazing to have this, bro. I have a Pochelides Rancorelli. It's a Wrangell's Lampine. It almost looks like the Norman's Lampine, but it's a little different. There is hardly no information on this fish on the internet. You're gonna get biological at best, like survey ichthyo at best, and it's usually in Dutch or French. That's what I've found so far. Yeah. But having stuff like that, like I got the Felices, Tico. Why are those not in the hobby? Because they're ugly. I think they're cute, But it's one of
that's the whole
smallest
thing.
flower bearers,
It's like people think flower horns are very pretty, and I don't like, but to each their own.
To each their own. I mean,
yeah, to each their own. They can do whatever.
John, don't you get me started on plants, John. Don't you get me started on them galaxies and goddamn flamingos and see, God forgive me. But
so and it's not. I wasn't trying to be a Debbie Downer or any of that.
It's all good. We're having a great time.
It was just one of those things where you said, "Well, what's going on?" That's kind of what's been going on in my head. And this is not something that's going to happen like tomorrow or anything like that. But there are things that I need to start thinking about. If I'm going to do this, this is the right time of the year for us because I'm not cooking in here, so I can actually open the garage door and be able to do all this stuff. And I know my wife has been telling me, move all this stuff over there, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do that. But now I got to go buy lumber and I got to build some racks. So are we really wanting to do that extra expense? Right. And that's a conversation I need to sit down with her and have that. And I have to make a decision. Do I really want to
about getting pallets?
No, I hadn't. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Now I got to think about
industrial pallets now. You got a truck. Yeah. I'm shipping pallets.
Well, I can get a truck. Yeah. That's not a problem.
But so, that's where I'm at with it.
But, I know you always talk smack about cinder blocks and 2x4s.
But it's not in the house, though. It's cool. It's utilitarian, different. I'm talking about in the house, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like when the tank and the fish cost more than the furniture. Come on now. Bitch, if you don't start, disrespecting me with that, come on. But I'm here with it, right? Going back to the crux of what we're talking about, which is direction.
The only problem with that is that it gets expensive.
A little bit. Go ahead.
That's expensive dopamine.
Yeah, it is. So going here, right? Just getting to that part of synergy.
Yeah.
So I'm biotoping. So we had some dope guests. We had Kenny, we had Mark, Tommy, everybody kind of doing that. Here's the deal. It's social media, right? Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do. So we're talking about cultivating because that's what we do. We cultivate fish, plants, critters, axolotls, whatever. Exactly. Dirty is as dirty does. So with that being said, cultivate that, show it, but be able to explain it with substance. The problem is it's so niche, right? It's so niche. And the people that are doing it, they're kind of learning as they're going. And you don't see sustainability. I'm gonna talk shit. I am. Now you don't have to guess. I like to do that. I'm talking shit now. So you'll see like these videos, and it's just like these natural wonders, right? And you'll see one video, maybe two, but like 6 months, a year, two, nothing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The way Warrior Planet Tanks is set up, I'm trying to show y'all that not only am I talking that shit, I'm walking the walk. All my videos kind of follow. And I tried to document my projects as much as possible. And I got to this point to where I damn near turned into a popcorn bullshit ass YouTuber when I got out the Navy and I moved back to Houston. I almost fucked around and was a Backstreet Boy. I was almost over there jugging and shit like the Temptations. I almost did. But thank God, school kicked in, started learning some more, started reinforcing this chip I have on my shoulder. Because, you know, we out here going to college and shit. God forbid, you know, my gold grill having that start talking about taxonomy. So when I'm thinking about that, that's what we need on YouTube. That sustainability, right? The people that show that shit, it's a gimmick, bro. It's pretty. I've been that dude. I've been a 20-year-old, high as hell. Hey, man, that would be cool. Off we go to PetSmart with the $120 we got, and we get a 40-gallon breeder, and Walmart in the same damn shopping center. And we go get some dirt and a bunch of bullshit and throw it in there. And it's cool for all of about, I don't know, a couple months till the bugs start getting in, until nature start naturing. So, but that I embrace that as learning. Well, unfortunately, with YouTube, that's what you see. And then that video gets to sit there and just keep juicing and juicing and juicing and juicing. So all the people see is that bullshit. They don't see no follow-ups. They don't see no how-hows. They don't see no by the ways. None of that. Look at Stella. Perfect example of how to do it right when she had the plants. And she was like, hey, y'all, I'm new to this, but I'm true to it. We're going to learn together. And she posted every day. And she used the community. Hey, what the hell is this in my water? There was some bugs. And I was like, girl, you showed something to me. My killifish would eat them, you know? And that's what we talking about, bro. Being a real person. You, grown-ass man, Jorge, good job. Blessed as hell. You're not finna just go spend all that damn money and put a false wall in there and crown mold and all that for what? So people that don't give a fuck about you enough to get your phone number, that won't even pull up on you and enjoy a tea, can see it and feel good, tingly for a few seconds. Come on, man, what are we doing? So that's where I'm at with it.
And here's something too. Here's another one that I've kind of been thinking about lately, and it's kind of like, okay, it's cool, but and I know Dr. Anthony says don't build a research center, but here's the thing though.
I mean, bro,
I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he did, because
me too.
Somebody's got to go out there and do the work. But here's the thing though. Here's the rub, and it's
God damn. Here we go.
Here's where I don't want to come off as hypocritical or I don't want people to misunderstand. Okay. I know recently we did that drive for Drew for what he's doing, which is a great cause because it's going to feed families. It's, you know, it's got nothing to do with the hobby or anything like that. And people came together and they were able to help. I don't know for how many years Dr. Anthony's been trying to get some involvement from the community.
Mm-hmm.
For something that really directly affects us in the long run of all this. But he's always having a hard time. And I don't see, and I don't understand why that is. I don't understand why we haven't done something kind of like what we did for Drew, where we all came together. Why can't we do something like that for the research center?
You done just activated some shit now. I'm about to go in, bro.
So, I don't care, but
I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you why.
Here's something for any of us that have been monetized. I'm going to put this out as a challenge for those that are monetized, and it's just for the monetized channels. Why don't we take one of those deposits that we get,
Hmm.
and it's not a lot of money. Look, it took me 4 months to get 120 bucks out of YouTube from the monetization. So it's not a lot of money.
Right.
Why don't we do a drive for us that do happen to get monetized to agree that the month of whatever we all donate that money to the research center? How difficult would that be? And I know for some people it's going to be difficult because they do depend on the little or whatever income they get from that monetization to help support some of those bills or whatever. But I don't see how that, for those of us that could afford to do that,
if you're struggling. If giving
Huh?
something that you have to somebody else to help them is gonna make you struggle, that's not
Well,
help.
but here's the thing, though,
You know what I'm saying?
and this is where Jason, I agree with him and his frustration and why he decided to do the stuff for what he did with Drew and all that stuff. Is there's always money floating around that goes to different, and that's fine. I understand that. I'm a recipient of that money too.
Right?
But I think as a responsible content creator, if you're fortunate enough to be having people support you and do that,
Damn, Rico
why don't we-
he done read my mind.
why don't we
I'm about to
go?
talk that shit.
Says everybody wanting to.
I'm
nobody
about
else
to
is starting.
Rico done read my mind. Go ahead.
Well, here it goes.
I'm about to go to fuck
We're,
in.
I'm going to start it. I'm going to start that. Maybe I guess we can start whenever we can start now, because we always say we do this some other time or whatever.
I'm gonna go get me a towel because I'm about to preach. I'm not bullshitting. Go ahead.
You know, the next deposit that I get, I'll go ahead and move that forward, because not only that, it's going to a great cause, a cause that does not get the attention that it should be getting. And here's a little bit of backstory on this, not necessarily because I was planning on doing this, but our guest for today was going to be Dr. Anthony. But Dr. Anthony, as some of us know, and for those of you that don't know, had to have some surgery done last minute. It was unexpected, so he had to go under the knife. Fortunately enough, he's still here with us, and he's recuperating and all that, and we'll reschedule that. But part of the reason Steve and I wanted to bring him on was to try to bring some of that attention that is well deserved for the research center. And I know other people have given him a center stage, and he's been invited to do talks. I know he did a members only talk for Aquarium Co-op, but it always seems like it's there for a moment and then it goes away. And I think for the community, especially us that are hobbyists, if there's an organization that we could help fund, this is the one. And not only that, a lot of us personally know Dr. Anthony too. So why aren't we doing, just like memberships exist for other channels? Well, even $1 a month or whatever. I don't know. I know there's more need than just $1 a month. But think about the size of the community. The worst case scenario, there's 2,000 of us. Best case scenario, there's 100,000 of us, because some channels do have that many subscribers, and they're on. A lot of them are repetitive, whatever. And we just kind of like did for the UNICEF and all those, where you just every little bit helps. I think we can help them meet some of those demands, and I know there's a lot of needs down there. I know there's a lot of money that's being spent that people don't know about. I know they had some savings that they had some unexpected expenses that came up, and they had to use some of those resources. So if there's ever a need right now for the research center, and I know Dr. Anthony, he does come out and sometimes says that he needs a little bit of help and stuff like that, but he doesn't want to be the guy that's always saying, hey, how about me? How about me? Where I think we should take up that responsibility and say, sure, it should be you. And but I need to get off my soapbox.
Nope. All right, then I'll jump on. So
right here what Rico talking about. Something you said before you even brought up Doc and started talking about Doc specifically, because, and I'm glad you did that, because Doc was supposed to come on today, but he getting better, and he'll be on when he better. So look at what this right here. I saw YouTube, and I still do see YouTube as an opportunity. Access to each other. And it's one of those things where I'm talking about cultivating a space for hobbyists that give a shit. And Jorge said, well, why don't nobody want to do this, this, and that for the research center? Because it's not glittery, because it don't sparkle, it's not shiny. And at the end of the day, I really don't know too many people who want to go in the jungle, who want to go to the places where this stuff is. I forgot who it was, but one trip I was overseas and I was on the phone. I think it was Big Hank or Drew, Fishy Biz. And I was like, man, YouTube pissing me off. Like I got like $1,000 fucking videos on the internet of just dumb shit, not sensationalized, just normal human being walking around in the woods, but in another country. Don't nobody watch this shit. I got, like, we out here catching malaria and shit for the hobby. Like, I'm true to this. So, and they was laughing at me, telling me I was crazy. And look at how it's motivation, right? It's what have you done for me lately? And it goes back to the example I told you, and you said it was kind of off at the time, but it's discernment, y'all. Just because somebody got fish don't mean that I want to be their friend. Look, you got to stand behind business. I'm not one of those people that's going to look past all this other fucked up shit you doing, for a lack of a better way to say it, just because you got some damn fish. And when I keep saying cultivate, I mean cultivate like-minded people. And it's one of those things like this. $35. $35. They'll get you in the AKA for a year. They'll get you access to everything, a database of people, everything. Dr. Anthony's research center. That's a whole opportunity to go to Peru and be in the jungle and learn and work. It's something that I intend to look into doing my damn self, because it goes in line with the degree I'm pursuing right now in college. And what I think it is, Jorge, it's not so much waiting for somebody to start it. It's about being first. The internet did that. It made it to where everybody want to be the first one to do some shit. But what people don't understand is this is a hobby. People have been doing it. There is no cut and dry. We have methodologies that work. It's science. And when you get it to where it's a popularity contest, for lack of a better way to say it, motherfuckers don't log in for the fish, bro. They log in for the people. It don't matter what's said. It matters who's saying it. And that's unfortunate, because I see YouTube as an opportunity to reach out to people, to meet people. Like, me and Mark laughed. I knew Mark from snakes when I was into snakes heavily. And then I'm thinking this name, and
we meet up at Taco, and I'm like, you the snake mark pile? Because I'm thinking killifish, he's somebody different. No, same dude. How? Internet. Something that it went from an accolade and respecting somebody for something they're known for doing to a tangible, real life relationship that I value. That's what I see in the opportunity for this hobby. And I like money. Everybody do. But at the end of the day, it's one of them things to where, like, it's integrity, bro. If it really comes down to it, it's integrity. I'm gonna be honest to you. Since I've been on the internet, I've had a lot of dreams, ideas, projects, whatever the hell you want to call them. What I've noticed is I have wasted so much time entertaining what I like to refer to as cul-de-sac people. They don't know what the fuck they want to do. They don't have no vision. They don't have the shit. They don't have no discipline. And I'm a Taurus, man. I ain't with the shits. I'm not gonna just go with any old bullshit. And I call them cul-de-sacs because that's a cul-de-sac. You go down there and you're like, shit. You know, you seeing houses in the neighborhood, nice, bruh. Then you don't necessarily get to a dead end. You just turn around. And depending on how much bullshit in that cul-de-sac, depending on how long you stay in it, and then you see the same bullshit on the way out. That's what I'm talking about. I wasted so much time entertaining people like that on the internet. But that's the risk that you take when you cold call, as we say in business, people. Because at the end of the day, this business, it's networking, it's building relationships. Why? Because of interest I have, I want what I want. I'm passionate about it. I love it. I don't want it to go away. I know that I'm going to check out one day, so I'm going to do my part. And for selfish reasons, I want the shit that I want swimming in my house. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why it's called the hobby. The problem is when you add psychology into something that's supposed to be a pastime. So instead of just reading books, agreeing on empirical data, oh, it's not hemichromis no more, it's rubrichromicadum. Okay, cool. Thanks for the heads up, bro. No, it's emotional damage, ego death. You're wrong. Those fish don't eat plants. My narrow window of fucking experience, boom, 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 crucified. And that's not cool. So it's one of those things where we need to cultivate. And I keep saying we because we get up here every other Saturday. We've been doing this since January, specifically this part. The call to action was when Jorge was in Mexico with his wife on vacation, and we had Jay on. And I was pissed, and you were pissed because they were pulling the bureaucracy in Florida. Point being, I said this. Those organizations, those entities can take advantage of the fact that as Americans, we're civically irresponsible as fuck, number one. And number two, that the industry, the hobby, is represented by charlatans. They don't have people like us, nerds, who can say, that's bullshit. Or people who can say, well, wait a minute. Y'all brought peacock bass and released them as ornamental fish. Now, per taxonomy, these guys are in the same clade, same group. They're kind of in the same environmental niche. So ecologically speaking, you can go fuck yourself. But we don't have that because everybody want to be out there jigabooing and yay, this is cool, pour this, sprinkle that.
And the hobbyists, they're dying because they're all old and they don't want to deal with us. They hate YouTubers. I'm just being real. YouTube has a bad name. When you go somewhere with people who really give a shit about fish and you pull out a goddamn camera or a cell phone, that changes the way they look at you. Oh shit, here we go. Here we go, another one. I don't even go in pet stores anymore and say I'm a YouTuber because they just think I'm somebody that wants free shit. All I'm trying to do is share knowledge, build networks, relationships that I value. And trying to tell you, like every time I look at this comment, it just charges another one. You know?
Well, going to that whole being a YouTuber and what that, if there's a pet peeve that I have, is that entitlement that I see.
Yes.
That I see some of my friends where they feel like, yeah, I have a presence on YouTube, therefore, I should get this for free.
It's like the episode South Park made about Yelpers, man.
How is that supposed to support the hobby if you're at every turn of the corner you're trying to get something for nothing? That's. But again, I don't know if that's because of the way I was raised. I don't know.
So.
I don't know, or maybe because I know socially I've been under a microscope my entire life.
Yeah.
Because you go onto the news and who gets blamed for all the excess spending, all those financial aids that go out there to help society. Yeah, we're always right at the brunt of all that. So I don't know if it's a stigma that I've grown up with that I just.
Well, I mean, shit, the fact Barbara Walter, and I mean, I'll confess, bro, I do have a chip on my shoulder because science, man, and it's perception, right? Like the way I approach YouTube, period, is science. I use this bitch right here to go collect research in the field and then present it to my peer group. Who's my peer group? My motherfucking subscribers. Boom. So like, I'm not trying to clout and pass and dash. I'm literally sciencing. You feel me? I'm a science. I'm gonna get my science on, and then I'm gonna present it to my peer group. So I just looked at it differently from the inception. You know what I'm saying? And it made it to where it's like, what is sharing? What is sharing? When you share something with someone, you do it in the hopes that it enriches and envalues them. I don't want to mentally rape you guys with a bunch of my obtrusive, impulsive bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. I want to share with you guys to envalue you, to enrich you, to give you some sustenance. If you want me to show off and make friends with me, pull up. You smoke one, we drink some bougie water because I don't drink alcohol like that, and I'll show off. I'll flex, man. I'll tell you some cool sea stories too. But for me to waste my time with this shit, put it on here under the guise of soliciting somebody else's time, and then mentally rape them with some bullshit, I ain't fun. I'm gonna share it with you though, all day, every day. I will share, and that's where I'm at with it. That's why people ain't gonna donate. That's why. Well, do you get a tingling feeling in your balls when you fucking donate to Dr. Anthony? No, because you can't sensationalize it. But when you super chat somebody some random bullshit for $25 and then sliding in a motherfucker DM trying to give them the cash after some shit for the likes, a few weeks later. Boy, if you don't get out of my face with that shit, just saying.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't know what. I guess it's just been shit that's kind of been brewing for quite some time, and And it's it's one of those things where it's so interesting. You see this, and then you have people that will initiate stuff, and they go about
Right.
doing it, and I guess that's why there's sort of a hesitation, because if you start, and I can see that where if you want to get involved, you want to get motivated, you start doing some of these things, and then it becomes an expectation from that person,
Right.
and
Right.
and something that
That's
started out as well intended,
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden becomes the source of criticism too, which is, so you kind of sometimes get kind of in a catch-22, which I understand, and then
Right.
people could get burned out of that. But here's the thing: I guess if we all just pick at least one thing we felt strongly about and help to promote it or whatever, that would be
Right.
fine. I think, yeah, okay.
Stella bring up a
anybody-
damn good point now.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It's true. You gotta make it pay forable. When I dissect what Stella wrote right here, the word that won't. Why do you want what you want? It ain't for me to question. You can want whatever you want. The question that we are proposing, or what I'm inferring, is the why behind the want. State your purpose. I'm a hobbyist. I see this as an opportunity. I love y'all. I don't give a shit. I don't mind taking the time to thoroughly explain myself so that you don't have to choose my words for me. I want you to understand what I say. And that's where I'm at with it. This is science. It's an opportunity for me. I know for shit show that the people that I need on the internet, they're not on the internet because they don't want no parts. They don't want to be affiliated, associated with the majority of motherfuckers that's on the internet. And I'm just being real. Like, I don't have nobody I can hit up and pull their coattail and be like, hey man, tell me how I breed these Oplochalites rancorella. How do I get these humpbacks to just start throwing? You know, stuff like that. Like, what's the best diet for these Chapalites? Like real stuff. You feel me? It's all sensational, baby. And I get that. Social media, cool. It's entertainment. That's fine. But we here, Rico said it. Everybody bitching, but don't nobody want to do nothing. I'm going to be real with y'all. My channel up there. And I ain't posted a video in a minute because I've been busy. And the people that rock with me, they don't just follow me on YouTube. The majority of them got my phone number. And I got 500 subs. And I said the majority of them. I talk to these people. And that's where I'm at. So instead of bitching, like Rico said, take the community and make the community. Like Stella said, people pay what they want to pay for. That's it. I'm not knocking. Hey, if you want a super chat your ass off. I do it. I done super chatted people because I want to show them some love. A coffee cheaper than a plane ticket or gas at the time. Hey, big homie, I see you. This on me. It ain't the norm. I'm talking about the exception, not the rule. Whereas Jorge and me, we saying the rule, in our opinion, we just don't agree with it. It don't sit all the way right with us. That's all. Objective. I'm not inferring emotion in any way, state, or form. Just science in the science.
Well, and like, yeah, and going back to what I was talking about for the support, wouldn't it be great as a community? And I know everybody's situation is very different, and there's got to be a way that we can make this happen. But
Right.
imagine being able to fund something, a program, whatever, for an entire month's operation costs. They don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You know, it's probably that at the end of the day is just a drop in the bucket when it really comes to the need of a facility like that.
Mm-hmm.
But why couldn't we, as an entire community, be able to come up with at least, at the very minimum, a month's operating, so that at least for instead of having to worry for 12 months of operation, they only have to worry about 11.
I'm
And
down.
it's feasible. You know, it's
Hella feasible.
it look again.
It's gonna get us in the fish. It ain't like we're not gonna get nothing back.
Well, it's just going to get us information. It's going to get us
It's a
it's
sustainable
gonna,
route.
it's going to get us knowledge. And everybody
Yeah.
says that knowledge is
what
priceless
the
and all that
preach.
stuff. Well, maybe it's time we start putting the money where our mouth is at.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll take that up. I'll take
I'm
it up.
down.
And there's still some communication that needs to take place. One, I haven't asked if it's something that they want or need.
Right.
So I need to do that first. Find out what the needs really are, or how we could help as a community, because it's not all about, you could be well intended, but if they're maybe they're in a situation where it's like it's going to affect them more than it's going to help them, and at the end of the day you end up causing a problem instead of helping out.
Yeah.
So
I'm finna roast you. I'm finna roast you, Jorge.
all right.
So I'm fair. So I said I'll be vulnerable too, but I'm finna roast you. So like me and Jorge, we be chopping it up and talking about adult stuff, like what you want to be when you grow up. Like best case scenario, what would be your jam? And I told Jorge, I was telling Jorge my passion, what I'm doing right now, like how I order my steps with the jungle, jet set and all this shit. And I told him, I said, the dream is to make impact, to have money to where when I land in the jungle, I want to get out the plane, hug babies, give them candy and cry. That's what I want to do. And he was like, he told me I was a missionary. He was like, man, I don't know about being a missionary. And I was like, no, not a missionary. Like, I ain't trying to impose nothing on nobody or nothing like that. I'm talking about understanding purpose. I fuck with fish anyway. I like them. I like people. I like the jungle. I like traveling. I've always been whatever that word is for people who see some bullshit and like, man, that's, an advocate. That's the word. Now I'm doing endemics. Dr. Anthony is doing good things in Peru, but there's more that can and needs to be done. When the traffic on the freeway is blocking progress, I get frustrated. So the traffic, when I see it, is all this bullshit on the internet that we just talked about. Because it takes up space to where we could be having impactful conversations like this, right? Africa. I'm in the AKA. I like killifish. I got the live bearers. I got a bunch of the falling off the earth species from Mexico and Central America. Here's the deal. We have a platform and an opportunity to really, really, really shed light on what's going on. I'm going to try to turn my computer.
Well,
So,
and here's
Go ahead.
just a thought. Here's just a thought when it kind of came to me what you're saying.
but
How many fish clubs is there in America?
oh God, hundreds, probably thousands, bro. National, I don't know, but clubs, period, probably thousands, bro. And with the internet, even more. But physical brick and mortar clubs, probably thousands.
Okay, so here's the thing, and obviously this is going to take
And
some
all the
work.
old timers are dying.
And here's something that is going to require a little bit of work, but it's a challenge. And okay, maybe I need to do that. How difficult would it be to reach out to these clubs and have each club, when they have their swaps or whatever it is that they're doing, and this is just talking out of my rear end.
You got
Imagine if each club could donate $100.
it. Okay.
You
Feasible.
got 1,000.
All right.
you know, you could easily get to a point where you've already raised enough money to sustain the operating cost of a research center that at the end of the day contributes to the entire community.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would require a little bit of work, making some phone calls, trying to establish some connections. But I would find it very difficult for a fish club not to understand the importance of giving back
Right.
to the overall well-being of the community. And without it necessarily making it where it's coming out of the consumers, but you already have organizations that could easily come together and be able to do something like that.
Right.
What do you got up there?
So this is C4's website. All right. And the C4.org. And this is the Congo. And they're saying a quarter gone 2050. And bro, I get chill bumps right now, man. It's saying that they lost 1.79 million hectares a year. 2015, 1.36 million hectares a year. And this is where all the fish come from. This is why this is what got me here. Okay, if y'all don't know, per discipline, I'm a culinarian. Freelance, biology, botany. I like horticulture. I like growing shit. I don't like poor people. I don't think that nobody deserves to starve because we're from Earth. What the fuck should you have to pay to eat? We're from Earth. I mean, we're from here. So stuff like this is kind of misleading in the sense of the apathy that it creates because we don't know who to direct the fuck yous to, for lack of a better way to articulate it. And that's what stuck with me. All right. When I see graphics like this, when I see stuff like them talking about protected areas being paradoxes, when we think about like the overall problem, but here's why I brought it up. I like to deep dive. I'm like the FBI. So what I'll do is I'll look at an article like this. I'll click on this dude and I'll pull him up. And then I'll see if he's got a social media. And then I'll see what kind of stuff they doing, how they moving. You feel me? I'm already on every database you can think of, seeing what kind of fish they got out there, what kind of plants they got out there. And then I start building relationships. And then time passes and y'all see cool videos on Instagram of my ass partying and doing what I do. So I'm going to pull up this article right here. This is social media. This is the opportunity I see, y'all. We are connected. We are like a fucking mycelium right now, and we don't even know it. It's connected. Like, I use pictures like this as inspiration for my tanks. I'm a nerd. I can zoom in on this shit and see what these plants are. I can take this picture. I can click on it. I can search inside the image with Google and see what it is. We're connected, is my point. And this is purpose. This is what I'm talking about. We know stuff about nitrogen cycle. We know stuff about nitrogen fixation. We know that carbon is not bad for plants. You need CO2. And it's stuff like this to where we got voices, we starting to get platforms, and it's like
If you're gonna be a hoe, be a good hoe. Start an orphanage. That's what the good hoes do. And I see it, you know, people like literally selling their souls to make like $65 a month in fucking YouTube revenue. It ain't for me. And then I look at maps like this. This is peatland. That's important because I keep killifish. I also have a species of cichlids I was trying to show y'all. They're Comptodon copetan. That's one of the many Comptodon species. It was formerly tilapia, I believe. And they're endemic to two crater lakes in the Congo. And they on their way out of here. But sciencing. The same way people go doing tags and all that shit for these YouTube videos and TikToks. Here's some substantial way to use a tag. And it'll pull up stuff for you. And this is what, so I be on the internet, but when y'all don't see me, and here, let me pause this real quick so y'all can see me real quick. So like when y'all don't see me or whatever, or like I ain't posted nothing, but I'm commenting on people videos or I'm liking stuff, but I'm not ghosting y'all. I'm deep diving. I'm what I affectionately refer to as in the lab. It's not personal. It's just how I move. And I'm deep diving. Because when I say we're connected, we are connected. And that's the substance. So when Jorge told me, I'm gonna go back to the article now. When Jorge told me he knew Dr. Anthony, he knew you know, the founder of the research center. And I was like, in Iquitos in Peru. He's like, yeah, I think so. I don't know. I was like, it is. It's Iquitos, bro. Because I'm in this. I'm already in that realm. I'm already in that echelon. Like, this is what I bring into my life. This is how I move. This is why I'm long-winded. This is why I can talk your ear off. I'm not a fucking rarity. The internet made me that way. There's a lot of people like me that look like me, and we get tired of dealing with people's bullshit ass inferiority complexes. What the fuck does that have to do with fish and learning? Science is supposed to be objective. So, not to rant, but here's the stuff that I'm showing you. Look at this. This is in Guyana. And I posted some stuff from Guyana, and I will be back soon. But this is the kind of stuff that I really want to encourage y'all so we can start fostering and really cultivating. Like, look at this. This is the kind of stuff y'all can link up with Dr. Anthony and go do stuff like this. Like Jorge said it, $100, bro. 10 clubs. What's that? 1,000 clubs, 100 clubs. So I think it's feasible. And again, here's C4. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. There's stuff out there. There's plenty. And what I'm saying is, if you're gonna clout chase, if you're gonna jump on bandwagons, if you're gonna fucking sell out and say pour this in here and do all this, and you killing fucking fish every goddamn 3 weeks, be a good hoe. Jump on their bandwagon. Pump them up. Boost these motherfuckers then. I said it. I don't care. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a good one. Start a goddamn orphanage. It's stuff out there that you can jump on the bandwagon and drum up. And you might get a vacation out of it. Who cares? You know, it's narcissists every goddamn where. If you're gonna take shit and run with it, Don't fuck it up. Do it right then. And that's why I voiced my frustration earlier. I'm done, Jorge. That's why I voiced my frustration earlier, y'all, because so many cul-de-sac motherfuckers I done came into contact with on this internet. This shit ain't new for me. I've been having these. They mine. I don't have to need them. They here. They come from me. I am the motherfucking source, the originator. That's what I'm saying. And I don't need to jump on no bell. I know what I'm trying to do. And then I trust, bro. I trust. And I put my time. I'm a passionate motherfucker. I'm not angry. It's passion, baby. And I put my time and my love into people. And it's a fucking cul-de-sac. But this is what Steve is doing. This is what my sights are focused on. This is where I'm going. So if y'all want to join me, rock on. If not, I still love you. But my tanks are reflecting it. Why? Tanks, fish tanks, like Jorge was saying, bro, it's privilege. But fish tanks are the Cadillacs of pets. You got dogs, cats, hamsters, birds. But when you see somebody with an aquarium, even if it's just a community display with artificial plants, it's distinguished. It's different. It's set apart from a regular pet. It's the Cadillac of pets. It's not a dog. It's not a hamster. It's not a cat. You see what I'm saying? It is the Cadillac. People that don't like snakes and iguanas and shit, they cool with a fish tank. People that scared of rats, scared of dogs, they cool with a fish tank. People that hate cats, they exist, but they cool with a fish tank, though. It's the Cadillac of pets. That's what I'm saying. A Cadillac ain't the most luxurious car, but if you know anything about cars, you know a Cadillac is a damn good automobile. I ain't even talking about hype. I'm talking about the guts, nuts, bolts, everything. It's a good ass car. So that's where I'm at with it. That's my soapbox, man. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a good.
Yeah.
Open a orphan.
Well, and then I'm seeing some of the comments over here, and
I ain't
the
watching.
burden-
I gotta see.
and the burden. I'm not saying that the burden of trying to raise money for the research center should fall on the consumers or the viewers. I'm putting this out as, like I said, the responsibility should be any of us that are creating content that have already been monetized, because we're already getting paid for what we're doing. Why couldn't we take some of that portion of some of that money and give it
Right.
back to an organization? That's where I'm going with this. Now, the other thing is with the clubs. Why can't these clubs, at the end of the day, are fish clubs? Why can't they contribute to a cause like that? But that obviously is because, one, they're not aware of that situation, and two, nobody's reached out to them. So
Right.
that's where that burden falls upon somebody like me
Right.
to start doing some of those, trying to communicate, trying to explain to that. Now, June has already gone above and beyond, and she already created some type of funding, which is
But
great.
June do that though.
I know.
June the real one, bro.
But
Yeah,
again,
thank
the
you, June.
burden, where I'm trying to get at, the burden shouldn't fall on the viewers. It should fall on people like me. It should fall on organizations like fish clubs. It should fall on businesses that make money off of the hobby. That's who the burden should fall on.
You see, you just said what I said more eloquently, Jorge. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a good one. The same way you can be comfortable begging for money to support your shit. I'm just saying, spread the spreading since you're spreading anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's who should assume a majority of this responsibility as a way of giving back. So, but that obviously takes some coordination. It takes some making some phone calls, trying to get working at trying to get contacts and stuff like that. So, but it shouldn't necessarily have to be the people that are already day after day. It's always the same ones. I always see the same people reaching into their pocket and giving to the community for whatever reason. Well, I'm saying it shouldn't be them. It should be people like me, people with businesses, hot clubs, people that are in this and are making or are able to raise funds for whatever it is that they're doing. Well, take a portion of that and give
Right.
it back. So that's what I'm
You know
getting.
what? And talking about feasibility, man, I be getting some solid quotes and shit, like them little nuggets of inspiration or whatever you want from the craziest places, bro. This is one quote. There's a comic, The Boondocks, that was on Cartoon Network for a while, but it's a satire, it's a satirical show. And one of the characters, the main character, the patriarch, is granddad, and the other character, he represents a militant youth. But he was frustrated with some shit that was going on. You know, like this. He was frustrated. And he was like, Granddad, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do? And I had chill bumps, man. Granddad looked at him and he was like, you do what you can. You do what you can. That's it. So, like, when you talk about feasibility, you know, it's cool if you can donate a paycheck or your revenue or whatever. And if you're not monetized, you do what you can. Prime example.
But here's the thing. Look, because I know Sarah.
It don't have to be money, is what I'm saying.
She says that she wants to contribute too. Well, here's the thing. Most of us that are monetized, we're already getting contributions from the viewers. Aren't you already contributing? If you're contributing to a content creator that is monetized, why can't they take? And I'm not saying the only reason I say I can do a whole deposit because it's only $100. I understand you go to Aquarium Co-op who's probably getting $10,000. I don't expect them to donate $10,000, but okay, let's put a number to it. Why can't here's why can't each content creator contribute $100? Let's put a number on it, $100, and we get as many as the content creators that are monetized. And again, the key factor being here, you're already monetized, so you're already getting money from YouTube. Why can't we take $100 or whatever it is that you're getting,
right,
and redistribute that back to art? I mean, to the research center,
right?
And how many content creators are in the hobby that are already monetized? There's got to be at least 100.
And then, but wait,
there's got to be at least 100 now. Well, I know. And then we go to the clubs.
Yep.
And again, $100. $100 is not going to break a club.
Nope.
$100 is not going to, because if $100 breaks a club,
it ain't a club.
That club should probably not exist because they spend more money on $100 of reach money for me. I get that.
Yeah.
Because Rico's saying, okay, so here's where I got to be careful with this because it shouldn't. Not everybody's in the same boat. I understand that, but again, well, I'm sure we could work this out, and it shouldn't have to be a mandatory thing. You know, it's not. I'm not saying shame on you if you don't or you can't, but I'm saying for those that are of us that are in a situation where we could, or you know, it's just. I don't know.
Well, you know what it is, Jorge?
What?
We're veterans. We're veterans, and shout out Veterans Day this month. So shout out to the veterans. We're veterans, bro. And I'm guilty of this. I'm macro, bro. I think big picture. I think abstractly. And I've been high functioning for so long that I feel as though it's disrespectful to the next man to view them as incompetent. And I have to learn that, you know, everybody at a different stage of development. You see what I'm saying? So when we say shit like $100, it's not cut and dry, boom, $100. It's really, we are just brainstorming and
Yeah,
cultivating the idea.
yeah,
And
these are just
that's
thoughts.
literally it. We're
These are
just
just
cultivating
thoughts.
the idea.
But
And that's
again,
us though. We're
there's
veteran
there's
shit.
more than one way to help too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always said. Okay, I understand, and I understand perfectly fine that everybody's financial situation is very different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't help monetarily, there's nothing to say that you can't promote, you can't spread awareness
There you go.
of what's going on, that you can't pin a site that could
Right.
direct people to those are the stuff that I think in general, and even for unmonetized channels that are content creators,
Right.
pin that site that the June has started, or
See?
whatever it is that we do. There's a lot of stuff that can be done that doesn't necessarily have to be monetary.
That's what I was gonna say when I said there's more. Wouldn't it be cool, right? If this was a thing, a trend. Bro, use what you got for what it is. We are manipulators of environment. That's what we do. We fish everything. What I'm saying is this: $100, whatever figure, runs Amazon Research Center for a month. Then we can every month pick a place, pick an organization. That month is Dr. Anthony. The next month, saving fucking orangutans. You know, stop the deforestation so we can keep boosts with habitat. Like, I promise you, if it has to do with nature and you keep fish, you can find somewhere. I'm gonna challenge y'all. Look at the fish y'all got right now in y'all house. Whatever you got, I don't care where it came from. It could have came from the homie, the ditch, Petco. I don't care. Find a fish in your house. Google where that fish is from, and then deep dive what's going on where that fish from. Politically, with habitat, economic, everything. Just go look. Just go look. And you will something so innocuous, and I'm gonna piss some people off, but an innocuous ass species like Puntius tetrazone, like a tiger barb. Go look where they're from and see how it's shaking in their native wild habitat. I challenge y'all to all do that because I want to show the synergisticness of it. And I want to use a living exercise to show that this is a mycelium. The internet is connected. You just have to learn how to use it. And you're not going to want to learn if you don't have a carrot dangling in front of you. The carrot, of course, is expanding yourself in the hobby, growing, reaching out, and being altruistic, man. We all want to show love. That's a human thing. Like, that's in us. We want to show love. So that's my challenge. Look at the fish you have right now in your house. I don't care what it is. And go look where they come from. And for you smart asses out there, if it's a hybrid, if it's an ornamental or a GMO, so something that we bred, look at the source species and go see where they from and how it's shaking, where those fish naturally occur. I promise you, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be it's shocking. And this is the kind of stuff that social media is a beautiful opportunity, bro. $100. Instead of just Dr. Anthony, bro. What if there's a movement, Jorge? For real. Every month picking, and I'm talking about the YouTubers, like you saying, and these big corporate people. Because what happens is it pisses people who want to help off when I'm going to call it what it is. It's poverty porn, okay? I'm going to tell y'all what poverty porn is. God damn it. See, I'm turning to a sailor again. Here's poverty porn. You get some people with money and they go to a third world impoverished place under the guise of being altruistic, helping these people, and all they do is use these people's situation, their culture, their condition to push a narrative. And I'm going to explain why I call it poverty porn. Because to those people that they're weaponizing, that's just another day at the office. They don't see themselves as impoverished. They don't see themselves as poor or suffering. I'm country. I know what time it is. They're not poor. They just country. I'm sorry, but it kind of takes a lot of logistics, you know, to get a motherfucking pipeline out to the middle of nowhere through a mountain. That kind of stuff. So when you get people who say, oh, we finna go over here, we finna do this little foundation and whoop-de-whoop, and it's all poverty porn, you got a lot of people who see that and it's like, man, I'm not donating no money to that bullshit. I done just paid for these people who already got money to go on vacation, take some people, you know what I'm saying? Like videotape their stuff, you know what I'm saying? And push an agenda. And then we get to go stop by Starbucks on the way to the Airbnb. A lot of people not going to go donate to that, you know?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's again, I'm not trying to put the burden on the consumers per se. But imagine we have all these events, right?
Right.
These hobby events.
Right.
Imagine we could reach out to, I'm going to use this as an example because I kind of know the numbers a little bit, but let's say the Keystone Clash.
Okay.
Keystone Clash had about, I think they said about 300 people that attended the event. About 300 people. I might be off by a few numbers, but this is just an
some
example.
good fish moving through that too, man. God damn.
Okay. So out of those, let's say out of those 300 tickets per se that were sold, that they decided to take $2 and donate them to the research center.
Right.
$2. That's
right.
Automatically $600 out of just one single event.
Right.
You go to an event like an Aquashella, where you get what? About 600-700 people attending an event like that, if not more.
Yeah.
You know, okay, let's say for sake of numbers, we'll say they attract 700 people. 700 people. We take that same concept, have them take $2 out of each ticket sale.
Right,
and donate it to that. That's $1,400.
Yeah.
That were just raised, and it's not going to break. Oh, 500. Okay.
Damn.
You know, so they had 500 at the Keystone Clash. You should take it. It's. I know when you say a $2 donation might seem
a lot, but
might seem insignificant. But in the scope of things, when you start adding, see, this is what, and this. How do I say this without? Well, anyways, I'm not going to say
it. Shit.
No. That's fine. I get
Dude,
this.
I've learned like the internet is repulsive. I sat on Instagram the other day, and the stuff I saw, and I was just like, and I think I called somebody. I thought I was a heathen. I'm not a heathen.
This is like taking it from a business philosophy that I see in our community down here.
Yeah.
In this region of the country, where you saw the 99-cent stores, you know, everybody's how do they make money? Well, they're making money 1 or 2 pennies at a time.
Yeah.
But it's the volume of those sales that ends up accumulating the money that you. So if it's a community, and when I say community, I mean entirely, not just the people that are in the chat or just the people that watch these channels. Our community is much larger than that.
Right.
But the idea is to have the people that could afford to be able to contribute, to be able to do something. Imagine that if Keystone Clash was 500 visitors, then I'm assuming an Aquashella has got 1,000 people that are going in the show. And you get them to contribute $2 out of a ticket sale.
Right.
It's not going to break the event. It's not, it's not gonna. And not only that, you make the people aware of the fact that 2 of those dollars are going to
Right.
the research center. They'd be more than happy to do that. They can look how
Bro, we're
increase your ticket.
cultivating right now.
If you don't want to lose money, increase the damn ticket by $2, so it's not costing you any money. And on the ticket, write that 2 of those dollars are going to help a research facility in the Amazon.
There you go. And then give them something.
The entrance to the event is what they're getting.
Well, no, I'm saying we're cultivating, right? This here, brainstorming, throwing out ideas, and it is contentious. I get it. But so I'm gonna use myself as an example then. Talking about doing what you can.
Yeah.
So look at Fishy Biz. Back in the day, before COVID, like way back in the day, he didn't have nobody on his team. I was doing a lot better before the tree fell on my truck and whatever. I don't sensationalize my fuckery. But either way, I adopted his biology department. I donated plants, inventory from Warrior Planet tanks several times, several videos y'all can go look at right now on his channel with the kids saying, thanks, Steve, getting them started. And here we are, how many years later? And what is he doing? Where'd that come from? Do what you can. Y'all don't see me over here freaking out. It's good. It's for the kids. If Drew hit me up, if I have time, I can do it. I'll pop up and say some shit. If I remember to, I'll put a box in the mail. So it's not to get your feelings all bunched up and shit. It's using the internet. When I said I see social media as an opportunity, that's what I see. I'm going to continue to do what I do. However, when I say I want to cultivate, you can't cultivate if you don't plant seeds. So me and Jorge said fish plants y más. The whole reason is easy. Fish, cultivate that. How do we feel about it? Why do we keep them? Plants, cultivate that. How do we feel about them? Why do we keep them? Y más. What is the driving factor that causes us to feel the way we do about fish and plants? And right now what we're doing is we're planting seeds to show deep dive. Click on the author of an article, right? And then go in there and you know what I'm saying? See, there's more stuff. And like as I find out stuff, I share it. And it's one of those things. I think Rico had said it. Do something. Fucking right. Do something. And that's where we're at. If I can donate to some shit, I donate. If I can send some money to get some turkeys and stuff, Cash App is going. If I can donate my time, my knowledge, I do it. And if it's really kicking, I'm buying a plane ticket and I'm bringing stuff with me. So when I see the internet, when I see YouTube as the opportunity that it is, that's how I rock with it. That's what I'm seeing. And when I voice that I wasted a lot of time with a bunch of cul-de-sac motherfuckers, that's just the truth. That's just my experience. And it's one of those things my vision don't necessarily have to be your vision, but don't think that you're going to use my vision as a vehicle to get where the fuck you want to go and think that I'm not going to say nothing. That's that. That ain't got nothing to do with fish. That's childish. Actually, It ain't got nothing to do with what we here for. And it's a beautiful thing for y'all to see this. It's people. And fish gonna swim regardless. It's people. Social media. What the hell did you expect you were gonna get if you gave a bunch of fucking introverts who don't have no people skills because all they got is fucking leopard geckos and cats around the house a goddamn platform? What'd you think you were gonna get? And it is what it is. You don't gotta like everybody, you don't gotta love everybody. Hell, I always tell my sons, you ain't even gotta respect me, but you ain't gonna ever disrespect me. I promise you that. And so again, it's cultivating, planting seeds. I have fish in this house that I want to talk to people about. We're talking about the knowledge. We're talking about clubs, networking, right? That's the opportunity I see. And the filter, you feel me? The space jump, not having that direct stream to those people. And I mean, to some people, that's part of the fun. I don't like nonsense. I want to go right to the source. And then it's either you vibe with them or you don't. Because like I said, not just because you keep fish don't mean we're going to go get a pizza. And I understand that. So that's the cultivation. That's the seeds I'm planting. Wouldn't it be cool, like Jorge said, if like some of these channels, just whoever could do it, donated that? Wouldn't it be cool if the trend was the hobby? If we actually used our voice to, like, this is selfish. I'm being honest. For me, I'll help you. I'm gonna show you how to be vulnerable. For me, it's selfish. 1,000% selfish. This is my way of saying fuck you to the establishment. Nobody deserves to starve. We don't need to be raping the earth the way we are. Suffering was never intrinsic in the model, you know? So the more people I can empower with knowledge, the more people I can inoculate with my spirit and get them going down rabbit holes, eating good, drinking tea, eating moringa, taking turmeric every day. That's how I say fuck you to the establishment. Because I watched my grandma die on my kitchen floor when I was 16 to a heart attack as a complication of diabetes, only to find out that it was from the medication that Big Pharma had given her. And they told her to stop taking all that anecdotal voodoo, as they used to refer to it as. But now, you can't go on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, nothing, without some drum beating, dread-headed bitch talking about drink some sticks, chew a leaf. So instead of being a victim, instead of, oh, woe me, I just empower myself. I got skills. I built my stats up my whole life. Nutrition, culinary, everything. I got paperwork. And that's where I'm at with it. Now, I'm going for my doctorate in horticulture. We're rocking. I'm trying to get into the philanthropy. I'm going out to these communities, going to see the shit for myself, making connections. That's all I'm saying. I ain't here to be trying to, I don't like that. I don't like bullies. I'm not trying to mentally rape nobody. But if what I'm advocating convicts you, then I've served my purpose. And I would challenge you from a place of love and responsibility to look at it, inventory it, investigate it, entertain it, if you will, and see where you stand. Because all this shit in my house that I got swimming, they just reminders for me of what's out there. It's just reminders. And I've always been fascinated with it. And it's one of them things to where it's like, holy shit, the opportunity to be able to do some shit like this. Watch this, Jorge. Bro, the opportunity to be able to do something like this.
What are you doing? You want to share
I'm
that
going
or
to
what?
show this.
Okay.
So check this out. Bro, let me tell you something. If I could have did some shit like this when I was a kid, I'd have been at fucking Dr. Acklerud's funeral. You hear me? If I could just click on, look at this, if I could just do this. And I got it. And then there's more because it's the internet. And you can just keep going. Let's see if she got a social media. Do you think that's stalking? That's not stalking. She put it here to look. So there's that. I'm not gonna do it on here because it's kind of creepy, but that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, you couldn't do this back in the day. Now we can. All I'm doing is showing y'all shit that I do. Nothing else. It's different strokes for everybody, man. I'm cool. It's different strokes for different folks. It's you like it, I love it. But wouldn't it be cool? Once again, most of the greatest stuff came from those words. Wouldn't it be cool? Look at me and Jorge. It came from a wouldn't it be cool? What we are doing right now came from a wouldn't it be cool? Dead ass. And that's where I'm going with it. Africa next. I'm telling y'all. Guyana's already on now. It's in there. Got the Antilles and Caribbean locked. I got access. I can go whenever I want. It's cool. Africa is next. I gotta grow some balls though. I'm not gonna lie. But Africa is next because there's great stuff happening. Science is happening. People are getting their names put on shit right now. We're hobbyists. And this is too golden of an opportunity to squander. That's what I'm saying. That's why I refer to cul-de-sac motherfuckers as cul-de-sac motherfuckers. If you're a cul-de-sac motherfucker, I'm sorry. I'm coming from a place of love and responsibility. That's it. Still love you. I just know how to rock with you. What to do with my passion. It's cool. What you do in a cul-de-sac, you turn around, see shit on the way out. It's cool. But this what I'm impassioned about. And this is what I'm ordering my steps in life to do. I'm literally, I'll get malaria for the hobby. Don't care. Don't care. What you got, man? What you
Not
got?
much, man.
Just saying,
Not
wouldn't
much.
it be cool?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It'd be nice to get out there and see some of nature. But you know, I kind of feel bad that it came off as preachy without today's episode, but that was never the intention.
Preachy, how?
I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah, bro.
It is what it is, I guess. But
I'm
it's stuff.
anything that you gotta just woosah, man.
It's stuff that I guess I've
I've
been
accepted it.
kind of thinking for a while. But anyways,
I'm looking
we
at
got to wrap
it,
this up because I got to get to
Yeah.
work.
Okay. I think we just did a service. And I'm gonna say why. Me and you get up here every Saturday, we get up here and we say shit that the people thinking that they want to say, that they might not necessarily know how to go about saying, but we don't beat nobody down, bro. And we're responsible. That's why you feel like you was like, man, that's why you apologize. That's why I'm saying this shit. We don't beat nobody down, and we will take the time to say what we mean. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We just firm but fair. We men. Like, I love y'all. I'm not here to hurt nobody. I love this hobby. I really love this hobby. And this is a frustration that, golly, man, I would say 99% of the people that I really converse with on platforms, they share these sentiments. They love this shit and they see the beautiful opportunity that social media is, but they just get tired of the cul-de-sac, man. They get tired of getting sucked in, getting to not necessarily a dead end, but seeing some bullshit and then having to turn around and trying to cultivate and foster that environment of y'all don't have to be ashamed to feel the way y'all do. Y'all not out of touch. Y'all not disgruntled or antiquated or none of that. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't give a shit. I served this country for 20 fucking years. I done been called a baby killer. I done been spit on. If I can fuck with some pissed off Arabs, internet ain't got shit for me. I mean that. So that's it. It's just being honest. It hurts to be honest. It hurts to be vulnerable. I love y'all. I am not finna get up here on the internet, which is forever, and make an ass out of myself. Reinforce them same stereotypes that me and you just talked about, Jorge. If I don't have a purpose in mind, I'm sharing. And I'm trying to lead by, like, my whole everything is by example. Walking the walk. Getting up here being vulnerable, it's fine. If y'all don't think that I analyze what I have said, done, how I behaved on these streams, you are nuts. I cannot tell you the hours of sleep that I lose analyzing on the context of I hope I didn't fuck nobody over because I ain't trying to hurt nobody. With that being said, I'm here for it. I think we did a service, bro. There's no need to apologize. But I do appreciate you giving a shit enough to try to take care of people because that's what we're here for. Which,
Yeah,
in my opinion, you led by example,
was
bro.
never to try to call anybody out or anything like that.
Just lead by example.
But it's just, it's just stuff that rolls around in my head. That's all it is. I'm not picking anybody out or singling anybody out. If I would do that, I would just said so and so or this and that. It's just I don't know.
To me though, because I'm not like that. I'm gonna make sure you know. I'm gonna make sure you know because I'm kind of sadistic. Like I want to see the pain. I'm gonna make sure you know I'm trying to fuck you up. I'll make sure you know this person. I'm gonna get real close to you and whisper. Well, there's no guessing, bro. We just talk shit.
Well, just to end on a positive note.
Yeah.
Our next episode is one that you and I have been looking forward to.
Yeah.
To be honest, little bit of transparency here. I know when Steve and I got the idea that we wanted to have guests on, one of the things that we jokingly said, what would be that one guest that you think seems to be far-fetched?
We could never pull it off.
Yeah.
You're damn right, Mator.
And lo and behold, he accepted. He's going to be here.
Y'all gonna see.
I'm so looking forward to having him on. He's an accomplished photographer, author, conservationist.
Everything.
Like
I'm always bitching about. That's what that's what they say you posted. Like they know. It's one of them. I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. It's one of them links I just clicked a while ago that I said, if we could have did this shit in the 90s, and I'm showing y'all, me and Jorge showing y'all, we leading by example. This social media is an opportunity. We seized it. Y'all gonna see next week or next show.
Oh shit.
I know you gotta go to work, man. Thank you guys. Hey, let's do shout outs fast, bro. We did not do shout outs.
Okay.
I
thought I had clicked myself out. I was pushing buttons and I hit the wrong one.
No, you're good. We gotta do shout outs.
I'm gonna go backwards. Well, Mandy, Zen Ginger, thank you very much for being here. Tommy, Silver Creek Aquatics, thank you.
Thank
Rico,
you.
thank you so much for joining us today. Keith,
Go.
thank you so much for KJE Aquatics. Thank you for that's Keith. Mark Storlson, thank you so
Appreciate
much, sir, for
Mark.
being here. Coral Works, always with us here. Thank you. Jeff Kane is another one that's, I mean, everybody that's here. It's
Nona.
Skinny Nona, Sarah. Hope you get better. I just saw that she's having a little bit of a health issue. Get better.
We'll pray for you. Only Oscars.
Only Oscars.
Here.
Stella the Decoder. Big Steve. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Jeff, Red Laser.
Red Laser, Daniel Velez. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm in.
Your lovely wife.
Pulled up.
Renee, thank you for joining us too.
Dang, y'all was going ham in here. Bro,
yeah.
This humbles me, y'all. To see y'all in here talking shit, going like, thank y'all, bro. Wow, I got chill bumps. Love every last one of y'all, bro.
Ritesh, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Damn, y'all was going ham.
Yeah, they're
bro.
Yeah,
Big Steve already. KJE already gave the homie a shout out.
Yep.
That's a bet. Already. I think we got everybody. And if we didn't,
Red Laser, thank you so much. Jeff, thank you for putting out the link for the research center.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure we don't miss anybody because
yeah, why not?
Jeffrey, you already Watts. Man, you're not kidding,
bro.
I don't think I've ever recalled.
Bro, this is dope. Love you guys, man.
I gotta go back and read all of these.
This is the community that I'm trying to cultivate. Jorge, we gonna do it. We are doing it. Y'all here. Y'all are helping us do it.
Was here with us today. I don't know if he still is, but thank you for being here, sir. Oh man, what the hell? Dr. Anthony.
This is dope, man.
What? This is insane. I didn't realize that many comments.
Yeah, bro. Skating on said, shout out to the veterans.
Lando.
That's what's up.
Even Lando was here. He's like an 11-year-old kid.
What's up, little dude?
Yeah, he's 5 years old. Little sucker calls me grandpa.
Oh, man.
I'm going to have to get after his butt. That's why I get on him about doing his homework. Because he's going to call me grandpa. I better check up on him.
All A's, bro. All A's.
See.
Yeah, my son got all A's.
I think that's everybody.
Yep.
If I can get to the top of this damn chat. All right. And look, it just added more. What the hell? Well, anyways, if for some reason we miss you, I am so sorry. That was not our intention.
Serious apologies, man.
This is just crazy though. How many times I've had it all the way to the top. But I don't think I've ever seen this before.
I know. Well,
not on our channel.
Bro, this is a contentious topic, bro.
I'm telling you, John Planet Aquariums. Thank you for
John. Yeah, I saw John in here. What's good? Yeah. Man, that 40 breeder, y'all go check out John.
On Instagram.
He's planting. We check him out on tube too.
Oh, Fish Fam Link. How can we forget about Fish Fam Link? That's somebody
that's always was in here.
Yep.
And appreciate the shout out too.
Yep. And I want to say I'm out to the top, but I'm not. What the? Okay, now I'm to the top. All right. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Hopefully, we didn't preach to you too much. And now it's my turn to put up or shut up. So now that I've already spoken, I can't shut up. I got to put up. So.
I'm not concerned. You know what I'm saying? The shit.
So now I guess if somebody can help me, it would be by the following: if you have contacts to any of your local fish clubs, share those with me, and or any businesses that are out there that could you might be aware of that they're looking to try to help the community with the fish community.
Right.
Let me know. Give me a heads up, and I'll reach out to them. And we'll explain to them what we're trying to accomplish. So with that being said,
appreciate June for doing what she did. That's real. And hit me up on TikTok. I did the challenge, y'all. Stella called me out when she was on here. I was a day late, but it's all good.
Oh, Debs
is on there.
was
I'm
also
gonna do
either
one a
lurking
day,
or
I
just
think.
showing up. Thank you, Debs, for being here. All right, guys. Well,
All right, y'all.
we got to go. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
All right, peace. Y'all have a blessed weekend.